Oh, there we go. Good. It's working now. Yesterday we went over how to market, how to generate leads, which is sort of the lifeblood of any business. We gave you some homework. I just want to share something really cool with you. I think I need access to share my screen too, Leah. And yesterday I gave everyone homework. So first in the chat, guys, if you did a post on Nextdoor or joined a Facebook group, I just want you to write Nextdoor or Facebook or FF in the chat. Everyone who did this, everyone who did a Facebook post or joined a Nextdoor. So Avi did Nextdoor. So if you did a Facebook or Nextdoor, if you did a post, Facebook. Okay, great. So I want to share something with you guys. I got this from Joey. He this morning at 6:50 something in the morning. And he did his first post. He's in our VIP. Yesterday, he said he was going to do his homework. He said he was going to go next door. He's going to join a community. He's going to do a post. And this is what he wrote this morning. I was really excited when I woke up and saw this. He said next door, his first day of posting as of this 6:56 this morning, there were 839 views on my post. So I thought that was pretty cool. He sent a little screenshot of the graph. So I thought that was really cool. Something like this is free, super simple, and it just goes, guys. It's like when you go to the gym and the guy says, do this exercise, do these reps, and you'll see results. And then you do it, it's like, you're like, well, this is like magic. It worked. It's like, no, I know it's going to work because I've been doing this for years. So he did it. He followed the instructions on how to do the post, and it worked instantly. So these are little things that we can do, guys, that make a big difference. And they do work. So that's why I want you guys to do them. So if you got value from that or anything from we did yesterday, I really just want you to write value in the chat, because my goal is to give you guys as much value as I possibly can in the limited amount of time we have each day. So if you're getting tons of value from what we're doing, please write value in the chat, because it makes me know, hey, I'm teaching you guys and showing you guys the right things that are really helping you guys and that really work. I don't want to teach you and show you things. You're like, well, Brad, that didn't do anything. I want to show you things that actually help you and work. So, all right, cool. I love to see it. Value. Okay, great. I love it, guys. All right. So I'm really proud of you guys. Like, honestly, I don't want to get deep into this, but when you take micro actions every day, that does something to your body. I'm a coach as well as a consultant and trainer and all this other stuff. It physiologically changes your body in real effect. Every time you do a micro action, it causes a dopamine release. That's what makes you feel good. I plant the seed, I water it, and the crop grows. That all those little things. Every time you plant the seed, it kicks in dopamine. That's the way we're built. It makes us feel good about the work we do. So, you guys should be proud of yourselves for doing it. Because again, how do you build the pyramids? How do the Egyptians do it? Well, I don't know. Maybe some people say it's aliens and dropping them from outer space, but essentially, you still got to build them one brick at a time, right, guys? One giant brick at a time. So, all right. Couple of recaps. As a recap, the first day we did talk about the industry in general. We talked about how it's up 24% last year. We only have 4% market penetration. We looked at amazing charts and graphs that showed solar growth out to the year 2100. And we saw how the industry jobs are going to double between now and 2030, and then double again between 2030 and 2035. So we are just at that tipping point with government incentives. The cost has gone down, with that sweet spot. Like I keep on saying, all the infinity stones have lined up right now, guys. That's why this has been such a great opportunity for so many people, myself included. I share with you guys my story. How when I started, I couldn't even pay my bills. They just stack up on the table. And I never, as a government employee, I never made more than 50,000 in a year. You go to college, you get your degree, which is what I did. I do what I was told. I get my job as an urban planner, and I get this, big fancy job working for the state. I'm making barely 50K a year. And I was delivering food and doing other things just to be able to pay the bills and, get by. I got into solar a few months later. I paid off all my bills. A year or so after that, started my own company. A year or so after that, wanted to buy my first house with my wife. And next thing I know, instead of getting the starter house, I ended up getting the dream house of everything I've always wanted with the forest behind it for me, because that's how I grew up. My wife got the walking path she wanted. She wanted fruit trees, and somehow this house had fruit trees already there. And I didn't mention one of the coolest parts about this house is that literally, I'm not exaggerating, there are like hundreds of blueberry bushes behind the house. Like just wild. Like you just walk out there and there's blueberry bushes. Yeah. So guys, that's my story. I know we've talked about it. I got a joke for you guys. See if any of you guys knows the answer. What is the best air to breathe if you want to get rich? What is the best air to breathe if you want to get rich? Anybody? You can write in the chat if you think you know. The best air to breathe if you want to get rich is, of course, billionaire. I'm glad you like that, Steven. So, guys, I used to tell, you know what's funny? I told a joke to my wife like a month ago, and I said millionaire. She's like, you should say billionaire. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. So sometimes we think things like being a millionaire and a billionaire are beyond us, right? It's like, to be frank, like I've had years where I've made really good money like that. I have. I never made billions, but in my head, you think, well, that's someone else, right? That, of course, that's not me, that's someone else. But until you change your identity, then you can never actually get to that place. It's impossible. So Leah, do me a favor. I want you to write in the chat, millionaire list. So just write millionaire list. And after she writes millionaire list, I want you guys to put your name under that. Because sometimes you need to see your name in that. So Leah, write millionaire list in the chat. There we go. And write your name under there, that guys. So you can say, look, I'm on that list of millionaires. All right, we got Avi, good. Guys, put your name in there because this is a big deal. It makes you see it. Brad, good. And you put your name in there and, okay, we got Wayne, good. Leah, where's your name? I know Leah's going to be on the millionaire list. Come on, Leah. There we go, girl. There we go. All right, now we're going to do a different list. This is for the billionaire list. That's right, billionaire list. Who's bold enough to put their name under the billionaire list? You have to be bold, but don't feel bad. Put your name under that. I love it. Greg, trillionaire. I love it. There we go. Leah, there we go. Good. Love it, guys. Good. So that's a mental thing, guys. Right? You gotta tell yourself you're capable of certain things, right? If you say I'm not gonna do it, you never will. All right, guys. So we have, like I said, a lot to go over today. So I just want to jump right in. Today we're gonna go into the lead conversion. I am telling you, like I said yesterday, one of my friends, before I knew he was getting the solars in real estate, he lives in California. Him and his brother have been very successful in wholesale and real estate. And he goes to go into solar, hires a local consultant, someone who's been in solar for years, end up spending $40,000 over 6 months with this guy to train him how to start his own solar company. I call him up. I was like, hey, Angel, after all that time, what did you actually get? And he goes, you know what? At the end of the day, the main thing his company does, the main thing the big companies are doing well is they know how to convert leads into appointments and close those deals. It's like, that's the biggest difference. Anybody can get a list of leads. Anybody can get leads, but can you convert them? Right? It's like, what is that process? So I'm giving you literally the same thing that he's doing that he paid, what do you say, $40,000 for. I'm showing you guys right now how to do that. And this is really the difference between making, some months doing one deal, making 5 or 6K, and some months doing 4 or 6 deals. I'm totally serious. I want to show you something I put together right now. Again, we don't have a ton of time to go through this, but it's just one of my favorite things I've put together. This is a KPI calculator, guys. So let me share my screen with you. And I'm going to go through this and talk to you how we hit these KPIs. A KPI is a key performance indicator. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so what this is this is showing what you have to do in terms of each of these areas to get to the dollar amount you're looking for. So let's just start with an average person. Let's say you can get 10 leads per week. That's totally doable. Everybody on this call, if they follow the plan of what we talked about yesterday, can get 10 leads a week. Now, it doesn't mean 10 appointments. We're going to get to that. We're talking just 10 raw leads using. Joey posted one post last night and had 800, over 800 people respond to his post, right? So how do we do this? Lead funnel. So you get 10 leads. That's going to be in a month. So this is calculated for the month, guys, right? That equals about 43 leads in a month. Now, if you contact 70% of those people, 30 of them become, contacted, right? So that means you have a potential of 100, almost 200,000, 78,000 in your funnel for 1 month. Now you talk to 30, but you can book 21 of those. That's a 70% appointment rate. That means you have 20 appointments that month. What does that mean? 20 divided by, let's say, 4 weeks in a month, that's 5 a week. It's not a lot, right? It's not a lot of appointments. So you have 5 appointments in a week. Of those, you only meet with 16. Why? Because people cancel, whatever. That's inevitable. 75% for a sit rate is very good. I'm going to talk about what's bad, but that's very good. So now you've actually met with 16. So again, 4 each week. That's what we're talking about. Of those, you close 35%. You close 35%. You have 5 deals, and that's how you get to 31K in a month. All very simple, right? So this is what good KPIs look like. I'm going to show you what poor KPIs look like on some very similar numbers. I will push this aside not to distract you. Okay. So this is the same person, and according to this, they do 0. The reason someone can do 0 is because there's decimal points here, guys, that you're not seeing. So this person, they get the same exact leads. They get the same 42.5 leads. Again, that goes to 43 if we move the decimal points. And they only contact 50%. Ooh. So that means half of their leads are gone all the way. Then of those, they only book 50%. So now they went from 40 to 10, so a quarter of the leads. And sometimes I talk to people, how many leads, what's your contact rates? Because people don't know the difference between a contact rate and appointment rate. And they'll say, oh, I meet with 75% of the people I speak to. I'm like, no, you only meet with 50% when I break down the numbers for them, because you had 42 leads, but you only spoke to 21. And then they sit. Now they have a 40% sit rate. That means they booked 10 appointments, only 4 people showed up because they don't know how to book appointments properly. They suck at it. Most people suck at this. I'm going to show you how to unsuck today. Like, there's a way to do it so you don't suck at this, guys. Okay. So guys, did you see these numbers right here? I was hired by a national company last year to be their consultant. This was their actual KPIs I'm showing you when they hired me. The KPIs on the left were the KPIs after they stopped work, after they did my services. So they had an 18% close rate, and that means they're closing less than 1 deal out of their 40 leads, and their cancellation rate was 40%. So they'd have a fraction of a deal at the end of the month. So in reality, this number should be 0 because it should round down, because 0.3 is no money, right? It's not even 1. So this is a company that absolutely sucks and doesn't know what they're doing and thinks they know what they're doing because they're big time hot shots and they know how to sell deals and blah, 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 blah. So this is what they were actually doing. They were doing about 100 leads per week. And this was their real numbers. They were still meeting over 40 customers a week, which is really good. They were closing deals, but they had this terrible close rate. Cancellation rate of 40%. Like, put a gun to your head at that point. Do all that work to lose almost half your deals. So at the end of the month, they're losing 3 deals. So they're only actually installing 4 to 5 projects a month. And they're only netting, on a $6,000 commission, $27,000. Now you change those KPIs. Woo, look at the magic, people. Look at the magic, going from 27,000 to 300,000 in a month. This is a company, this is like one state, what they were doing. All of a sudden, they're getting 425 leads a month. Again, the same as this one. Nothing's different. I'm going to move the decimal points to make it a little easier to look at. So 425 leads. So they're going to spend the exact same amount of money. This is what I'm trying to get in your heads, guys. You're going to do the same effort, spend the same amount of money on these leads. 1 is you know how to handle them. 2 is you don't. That's why this is the most important thing you're probably going to learn in all this. Maybe even more important than closing. Okay. 425 leads, you contact 70%. So that means you've spoken to nearly 300. You're going to make appointments with nearly 200 of them. Now, look, you've lost half of them. That's still good. So don't feel bad. Oh man, I had 400 leads. I only booked 200. No, it's really good. So it's a 50% rate of appointments of the leads, but it's a 70% rate of what you spoke to, right? Because these two numbers are different. So you booked 200, your sit rate is 75. That's still good. They went down to 40%, guys. So I went from 40% of them in sit rate to 75. So now they're up to 156 appointments a month. They went their close rate from 18 to 35. So now they're closing 55 a month, and their cancellation goes from 40 to 5. And now they're only down to 3 cancellations a month. They install over 50 projects a month, and now they get to over $300,000 in a month. Big difference, right, guys? Big difference, all based on dialing in these numbers. So how the hell do we dial in those numbers? Okay. Let's do it. Let's jump right into this, guys. Let's look at the magic and how we get from crappy numbers that are going to make us want to pull our hair out, which, by the way, is so many companies I speak to and people. They just want to pull their hair out, to actually doing this the right way. Okay, the right way, lead conversion system. How to turn leads into appointments, increase lead to appointment rates, increase sit rates, get more sales, lower marketing costs, make more money. All right, this is the magic. Let's hit it. All right, how does this work? Number one, this is what Abby and I had a call on the other day. Professional discovery call. What does that mean? Let me tell you how most guys are doing it. The lead comes in, it's like, oh, hi, Mr. Customer. Can you send me your electric bill? Okay, great. You're spending $200 a month. Okay, can I see you? Are you own the house? Oh, okay. Can I see you? It's like this, like rarely unprofessional call or interaction with someone. I don't care if it's my pizza lady. I don't care if it's you're doing your in-home efficiency. Like, you need to handle this exactly how I'm telling you. If you do, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, Brad, my contact rates, my appointment rates, my sit rates went up. Okay. The KPIs equal the professional discovery call. This is the most important tool in your belt. It basically means for every customer you meet, you have a specific process you put them through. And every single, I don't care if it's your mother. I made this mistake in the beginning. I literally did this. My own mom was like, can you look at solar panels? I didn't do it professionally. You know what I look like? I look like a moron by the time I met with her, because I didn't handle the thing professionally. I felt so bad because I took it for granted. It's my mom. I can just handle it anyhow. No. Their friends and family, you got to be as professional as possible. And guess what? They'll appreciate it. So this is what you do. Professional discovery call. You're gonna need an automatic CRM, automations in your CRM to make this work. You're gonna need speed to lead. You're gonna need training. So let's jump into all of these. Discovery call. Again, this is your most important tool in your tool belt, guys, if you're gonna make this work. Your goals of your discovery call. You want to qualify both the home and the homeowner. Guess what? If the homeowner is going to move in 6 months and you don't ask that question and you spent a whole day making a proposal and getting ready, aren't you going to feel like a jerk when they get there and they're like, well, I'm moving in 6 months. I'm never going to do this because you never asked how long do you plan on staying in the house? Oh, guess what? You should ask that question, right? I can't tell you. Like, I work with that same company I was working with. I asked the sales guys, give me your complaints. He said, we're showing up the homes and the homeowners aren't even going to stay there. They're moving. And it puts us behind the 8 ball. And here's the thing. You can actually sell the homeowners who are moving. Maybe it helps to know that before you go, right? It's a different approach, right? So qualify the home and the homeowner. We're getting into that. Get the electric bill. Obvious. Confirm the house. We'll talk about what I mean by that. Make sure you're designing for the wrong house. How would you feel if you make a proposal for the guy's neighbor's house? You think they're going to think you're a professional? No. You got to get the right house, guys. Create curiosity. If someone's not interested by the time they talk with you, they're never going to want to work with you. You have to create that curiosity. Build rapport. Warm up the customer. All right. Discovery call results. So what is the results if you do this properly? The homeowner will be verified and the home. You'll know going into high confidence, this is someone who is able to go solar and they have the right credit score, everything that you need to go solar, that they need to go solar. This will set you apart from the competition. I can't tell you how many times I've implemented this with people and companies, and all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, Like when we spoke with Steven's company and we spoke with Greg's company, it was the most professional company we spoke to. That's why we went with them out of the 4 proposals we had. That's really what people will say if you do this right. Okay. I talked about this yesterday. This is a layup versus a half-court shot. If you do this right, you'll stop going in blind and naked and not knowing what's going on to your solar appointments, and you'll have all this information and it's like a layup every time you go to an appointment rather than these half-court desperation shots is what most solar people do when they go to an appointment. Okay, let's talk about some things you got to do during this discovery call. You get on the phone. What are we talking about? You're on the phone with the customer. You had the lead come in. You're on the phone with the customer. What is Greg saying? Yeah, okay, we'll come to that. Okay, you got to create curiosity. This is the best way I found to do it. This is one of the things I learned from that SunPower guy I mentioned just a few minutes ago. He said, you never want to say something's better because then they'll think it's more expensive, right? You just say what we have is different. Now, guys, I don't care what you have, what you're doing. You're going to make sure in some way you have a unique value proposition. And part of the trainings I teach everybody is how to have a unique value proposition. That means what you have is quote unquote different. So, hey, Elvin, hey, Super Dave, what we have here is different, right? And you're like, well, what's different? Great. When you meet with me, I'm going to share with you what's different. I create curiosity. How else can we create curiosity? You will get a custom solar design. Man, I want my custom solar design. Well, you got to meet with me to get it. That's why this is one of the things I was talking about with someone the other day. Don't send the proposal beforehand. Never send the proposal beforehand. If they want the proposal, guess who they got to see? You. They have to see you. And guess what happens if you send the proposal? They're going to read it and they're going to imprint the wrong ideas. They're going to imprint, oh, the total cost is $30,000. I can never afford $30,000. But if they meet with you, then you imprint the right things to them. This is what your monthly payment would be. This is the amazing incentives. This is how zero down works. This is how much you're going to save, right? You want to imprint the right thing. Imprinting, real quick, guys, is whatever price you say to someone first. If you go to buy a car and let's say you walk into the dealership and you point to the truck you like, and the girl there who's not even the salesperson, who's just a receptionist, and you say, hey, that's a nice truck, that red truck there. How much is that worth? And she goes, oh, that's a $30,000 truck. Then you meet the sales guy and he goes, well, it's $46,000. How do you feel? You feel crappy, right? You're thinking it was 30,000. And guess what? You'll never get that number 30,000 out of your head. No matter if that $46,000 truck is the best deal for that particular brand of truck on the market, you're going to feel you paid too much because you got imprinted. So you need to be one to imprint. Okay, it's a whole nother training. So solar cash, what else are you going to get? Solar cash flow analysis for your home. So you're going to know exactly when you meet with me, how much is it going to cost, what those incentives are, how that's going to work for you, what those monthly payments are. When you meet with me, not before, you're going to get these things. So this is how you create curiosity. This is how you increase your sit rates. Guess what? How many customers do you say this to? Guys, write in the chat. You think some of them or all of them? Do you create curiosity of some of the people or all the people? Write it in the chat. Some or all. Yeah, you want to create curiosity of guys, someone says to you, well, I am definitely 100% going to go solar. So you don't need to create curiosity? No, you do. Why? Because the guy's busy. He's going to blow you off if he doesn't feel like there's a need to meet you. You need to create some anticipation in that person. Okay, what else are you going to do during discovery call? You're going to ask about 25 verification questions. Some of you guys are barely asking 5. You need to be asking about 25. I'll give you guys a full list of all this, so you have all this, okay? But I need to ask you a few questions so I can make a custom proposal for your home. Guys, this isn't so you can become their friend. You can be friendly, but this isn't to become their friend. You need to know what's going on. You need to understand their electric usage and what's happening. You need to understand, home questions. Do you own the home? How old is the home? If you're dealing, let me ask you, I don't know if we have any construction people here. If there's a home built in the year 2005 from a construction point of view, do you think that's a little different than a home built in 1905, like some of the homes around me are built from a construction point of view? You think it might be a little bit different in engineering? Oh, Greg's like, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So you go in there, you got a home. I've literally walked into homes. I look at the roof and they're bowed. They're bowing down. I go up there, it's 2x4s. And if you don't know, a 2x4 is not much for a rafter. And the roof's bowing. And I look at the homeowner. I'm like, did like, can I put solar on? I'm like, I don't even know how you made it through the last 10 winters, to be honest. Like to be honest, you need to have someone come and take a look at this. Like, I'm scared for you, like legit, right? Like, but if the home was built in 2005, guess what? It has to meet modern building code, right? Any home built after a certain point. So you got to ask the right questions. Rebate questions. What if there's rebates and incentives in your area? We used to have rebates based on income, based on other things and they still are out there. So you got to ask these questions. You got to ask, and you have to book the appointment, right? All these things need to happen during the verifications. Solar related questions. Hey, have you looked into solar before? You don't want to go in blind. Have you looked into solar before? And I'm not going to go deep into this because we don't have time, but someone says, yeah, you are I looked into it a year ago and I looked at 4 different companies and I decided not to go. Well, my obvious question was like, this is what I need to ask the right follow-up question. What's that? Why not? What stopped you a year ago if you met with 4 different companies? What happened? You know what? They're going to tell you how to sell them. They will tell you right then and there how to sell them. Well, I met with them. You know what? All the companies were super pushy. Like, I just didn't like them. They were pushing me and they wanted me to do this, like, this thing where like they would own the panels and I wouldn't even own the panels. And like, I wanted to own the panels. So didn't make sense. So what does that tell me? Don't be pushy and offer them either a finance, like a zero down finance, or cash so they can own the panels, right? They've just told me exactly how to sell them. I won't know that unless I ask questions. People are like, I'm afraid to ask if they met with a solar company because they might get the idea of actually meeting another solar company. I was like, are you daft? Like, people, you don't think people are going to get multiple quotes anyways? You don't think they've thought about that? Like are you dealing with people like Forrest Gump 80 IQs? Like, people, like, don't pretend people are stupid. Like, talk to them like an actual intelligent human and the people will respect it. Okay. Confirm and reconfirm. Let's go more deep into this on Discovery Call. Qualifying questions. What is your average monthly electric bill? Obvious. Do you own the home? Obvious. Guys, this is a big one. Never sell a home. Oh, yeah, I own the house. It's my mother's. No, you don't own the house then. You don't own that house. That's your mother's home. Like, I will meet with you and your mother if she's there, but I'm not meeting with you. Now, sometimes people say, well, my mother's elderly. Okay, that's fine. Like, unless she's in a home or something, she should really be there on the call with you guys. But like, I don't want to go deep into that, but they have to be homeowners. They can't be renters. Oh yeah, I'm going to speak to the landlord. No. I will meet the landlord. I'm not letting you talk to the landlord for me. It's a waste of time, guys. What is your credit score? In a range. I've never really asked someone, was your credit score 700? No. Is it above 700? Is it between 650 to 680? Is it between 630 to like, get a range. What is the age of your roof? If someone tells me, well, my roof in Massachusetts is 25 years old, well, the first thing I'm going to say, because I'm not going to hide anything, I'm saying, well, likely we'll probably have to replace your roof to go solar. They're like, oh yeah, I was already planning on that, right? Right? That's what they're going to say to you, right? Most people, if they're talking to you. If it's in Texas, who was I talking to yesterday? It was like, yeah, they're like, yeah, the average roof is like 5 to 10 years in Texas because of the hail and the wind. Because they do a restoration. I was like, oh, that's so it's just interesting because like I'm not from that part of the country, and I didn't like if I hadn't worked with people from that area, I wouldn't even know that or think that, right? So you're gonna understand these things. How long do you plan on living there? Again, if someone's moving, you should really know because that's gonna affect how the sale goes, right? So let's say you have a cash proposal with a 5-year payback or 7-year payback, and they say I'm gonna move in 4 years. They may think, well, I'm never gonna see the savings, right? So you have to learn how to approach that the correct way so they don't feel like that. So again, we'll get into those things. That's tomorrow. We're going to talk about some of that stuff. More qualifying questions. I'm going to race through these. Do you own or plan to buy an electric vehicle? Guys, they're using 8,000 kilowatt hours in a year. They're going to buy an electric vehicle. It's going to add 2,000 or 3,000 more. Maybe you should know. Design the right size system, right? Or they just bought the vehicle. It hasn't really appeared on a year's annual basis on their electric bill, right? It's only paid for a month. So the bill would not be actually accurate towards future use. So you have to know these things. Do you plan to get electric heat pumps or ductless mini splits, right? Do you plan on switching over? Again, this will increase their usage. How many people are in the home? Why does Brad want to know that? Is he some creep who wants to find out who's in the home? Yeah, I am. That's why. So just deal with it. No, there's a reason. So I ask, I ask Suki, how many people in the home? And Suki says 2 adults. He says 4 people. And I say, what, 2 adults, 2 children? Yeah. He goes, let me ask you, this is how I handle it. Let me ask you this, Suki. I need to know I don't need the ages. I just need to know the age range of these like elementary school, high school, because if they're high school, guess what's going to happen? Your electric bill is going to go down in a few years once they leave the house. But if they're 3 or 4 years old, guess what those kids are going to do? Those kids are going to consume more electricity every single year as they get older. There's a direct, you look at those graphs, the line graphs, like a stock chart, that stock chart's going up on electric use until those kids hit 18. That's just the way it is, guys. Kids use more power as they get older. So you need to know. You need to know, right? You want to have an accurate understanding. Do you have a spouse or is there another decision maker? Again, we call this a one-legged appointment. You're never going to show up by yourself. You're never going to show up and it's the husband, and the husband says, oh yeah, I didn't even tell my wife. Well, that's terrible, right? Like that's a fight waiting to happen. Now, in some of the deeper trainings, I do explain how like certain cultures, you have to be culturally sensitive. For example, I've worked with a lot of Indian people, and in the Indian people where I live, in their culture, not mine, right? I have to respect their culture. In their culture, when the man says to me, I make the decision on this, my wife doesn't need to be there. If I push it, I am being culturally insensitive, and I've sold to many, many Indian people, and that's how they like to do things. Now, that doesn't mean it's 100%. I've definitely met with couples who are Indian, but if they say it to me, I respect it because I understand. If I meet with someone who looks like me, grew up near me, and the guy says, oh yeah, I can do it on my own, I look at him, I'm like, are you sure you're not going to be digging yourself a hole and your wife's going to beat you with that shovel when you're done if you meet without me? And he'll laugh and say, oh, you're right, she should be there, right? Yeah, she should be there, right? You got to understand who you're dealing with. Most of the time, you want both decision makers there. All right. Again, there's a full list of questions. What I'm really getting at with you guys is this discovery call is like you're setting up, you're prepping everything for that appointment in this call. You want it done right. These are some tips to make sure you book the appointments properly, that they meet with you. So we talked about those KPIs. Some of these tips are going to help you, make sure that people want to meet with you, that you do these things correctly. So let's get into my appointment setting tips. You want to avoid no-shows, right? You obviously are going to have some people won't meet with you, but you want to avoid it. You want to have everything you need when you show up. You want to set proper expectations. The worst thing you could do is set an improper expectation. I'm going to give you a 20, 30% savings on your solar bill. If you say 20% to that person and you come in at 18% savings, did you let them down? Yes or no? Right in the chat. You told them 20 and you come in at 18. Are they going to feel like you let them down or maybe even lied to them? Yeah. Yeah. You cannot set improper. You'll kill the deal, guys. So when they say to you, how much am I going to save? Or what's the average person save? You say, that's a great question. I'm going to give you all that information when we meet, right? Create the care. And people, I've had literally sales managers of major organizations argue with me on this point. And then I'll just survey the room. Hey guys, have any of you salespeople ever gone into a meeting and you lost a deal because someone thought they were getting 20% savings and you only gave them 18 or 19? Yes, I lost a deal because of that. Set proper expectations. Never give a quote or savings beforehand, guys. It will kill you, because once you set that expectation, you don't meet it, they just don't trust you anymore. And that's it. The customer is gone forever. Okay. Building rapport is the other part that you want to do in that call. Okay. How to avoid no-shows. You want to get about a 75% show rate, right? So I would love to say, oh, it's going to be 80, 90. Maybe if you're meeting with friends and family in the beginning, you may get 100%, right? But we're talking about over time, meeting with perfect strangers, meeting with different types of leads, right? Triple confirm the appointment. I'm going to explain to this, guys. This is one of those things that I have found. This is like the little thing. It's like, how do I get I'm just having so many people not show up. I get this call often from Brad, can you just help me with this one thing? People aren't showing up to my appointments. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let me teach you what to do. What you got to do is do a triple confirmation. Once the appointment is booked, confirm the appointment. Then you explain the requirements of what they will get, then confirm it again. And 3, final hard confirmation. I'm looking at the time, so I'm going to fly through this, guys, but this is how it works. Okay, first confirmation. So I have you booked for tomorrow, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Can you please confirm you and your husband will be there? Yes, great. Okay, second confirmation. Excellent. So your appointment is tomorrow. I'm literally just saying it. again to the person. Your appointment is tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'll give you at this time, if you're the one meeting with them, I will give you your own custom solar design with a cash flow analysis. This may be, create curiosity, different than what you've seen before. This is custom, and I'll take time to put this together. So I'll see you there, right? Right? Yes, I'll see you there, right? That's my second confirmation. That was pretty soft. That was soft. Third one, not soft. Hard confirmation. Okay, great. I'll see you tomorrow, again, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Just so you know, I'm really busy. And by giving you this time slot, other homeowners aren't going to be able to meet with me at this time. So I just need to get a final hard confirmation. I use that word, hard confirmation, that you and your spouse you will, let's typo, will 100% be there tomorrow.
Brad,
Right?
just for clarity, is this on the phone?
This is on the phone when you're booking your appointment with them.
Okay, thank you.
This is so important, guys. This is gonna, all of a sudden, you're gonna be like, wow, I was like, half my customers weren't showing up to my appointments. All of a sudden, I'm actually making people hard confirm, and my appointment rates, my sit rates go way up. Yeah, like I've seen empirically the numbers on this, guys. This works extremely well. So make sure you're doing it. It may seem like a pain in the butt to you at first, but stop doing it for a few weeks or a month and watch your numbers drop. Watch your bank account go down. Watch your sales go down. You'll be like, oh, I think I should go back to like triple confirming. Okay, then shut up, make them confirm. Guys, just because you say, hey, you're going to be there tomorrow, don't just keep talking. Make them confirm. Make them say, yes, I will be there. Okay. While on your phone, you need to confirm the house on Google Maps, send a text message, request the electric bill, wait on the phone while they'll get it. Confirm both parties will attend. So again, I'm going to have all this available for you guys. We're limited on time, but you do want to get the, confirm the map. This is what a Google map looks like. You can do right from your phone. You type in the address, you screenshot it, send to them. Is this your house? Yes or no? Make sure you're designing on the right house, right? Another big mistake, not calling. I see a lot of people and they'll have lead lists, they'll have incoming leads, and they'll text them, they'll email them as soon as that lead comes in. That's not enough, guys. You have to call. I don't know why, like, guys, I don't want to call you lazy if you're not going to do this, but that's how I feel. I just feel like it's lazy. You have to call the leads when they come in. You can't just rely on texting in and email. It's not enough. 30% of leads, they say, are not called at all. That's some national data. Bonus, best times to call. So MIT did some research on this. We're going to get to the research in a minute. Wednesdays and Thursdays, best time. The best times of the week, if you're trying to get someone on the phone, is 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Wednesday or Thursday. This isn't my opinion. This is national data. The second best time, same days, 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. Now, some people may be at work at those times, and they'll say, I can only take calls on the nighttime. But you think it's better they get a call at 5 p.m. or 6:30 during dinner? Think about it. Okay. No Friday or Saturday night appointments, guys. I'm telling you, running a call center for 10 years, I don't think I ever once had an appointment go through on a Friday or Saturday night. I don't care how they beg you. I promise I'll be there at 7 o'clock on Friday. That's the only time I can be. No. Guess what's going to happen? Friday at 7 o'clock, the appointment's going to come, and they're going to be tired. They're going to be going out to dinner with their friends. They're going to be sitting in front of the TV. One of those three, right? And they're going to blow you off. Not 99% of the time. 100% of the time, you will get blown off. I don't care if it's your friends and family. You think they want to meet with you and talk solar on Friday, Saturday night? Hey, hey, Joey, come over, man. It's Friday night. We'll talk. No. I'll come over at 5 o'clock. I'll come over. No, not 5 o'clock's too late. I'll come over at 2 o'clock on Friday. We'll talk to solar. Then we'll go out to dinner after and hang out as friends. But there's no way in hell I'm meeting someone at 5 o'clock on a Friday or 6 or 7. Don't do it, guys. It's a waste of your time, waste of their time. All right. Book 1 to 3 days out max. Avoid booking 7 days out. People are on vacation. Things happen. It just causes no-shows. If it's required, then someone says, well, I can't meet till today's Thursday this week. I can't meet till Thursday next week. It's the only time. All right, I'm going to pencil you in. This is Mr. Customer. I'm just going to pencil you in. I'm not really putting this down as a real appointment. Not yet, because like it's a little far out for us. We don't really book that far in advance, but can you confirm? If you confirm a few days beforehand, I'll send you an email. If you confirm it and say you're going to be there, then we'll make sure we have everything ready. Okay. Okay. Perfect. You need to make sure that they understand they need to promise you that they're going to really be there. But if you do it, I'll tell you this, there's a direct correlation to the further the appointment is out, to the higher the no-show rate is. It's like the most amount of people are going to meet you if you meet with them that day or the next day. And then it just goes down from there. Okay. Send meeting reminders, text, email, when it's booked the day before, 1 hour before, 10 minutes before. This should be automated. They should be getting plenty of reminders, guys. All right. Solar consultants the day before the call. If you're not the one calling, so like say you have a call center or an assistant doing the calls, and you're not the one doing the actual discovery call, then you want to call that customer the day before. You want to recap what the expectations are. You know, I'm going to give you a proposal, blah, blah, stuff we talked about. You're going to set the time frame. I always ask, will there be a hard stop? Okay, the appointment's from 4 to about, do you have any hard stops? If someone's like, well, actually, I have to pick up my children at 5, which means I have to leave the house at 4:45. If the appointment's at 4, I may say, well, you know what, let's just book another time. Like, that's not going to work, right? Like, it's way too stressful for everybody. All right, guys, what else? Increase touches. Increase your contact points. Guys, I'm trying to get through a lot, so let me just push through this. Increase your contact points. You want as many touch points as possible. The average buyer needs 8 touch points. Guys, how do you do that? How can you contact them? You need to automate your outreach. You need to have a good CRM. If you don't know what a CRM, basically you go to the dentist, you book an appointment, and then 2 minutes later, you get a text message reminding you, hey, I just booked an appointment at this time, this date. That's what a CRM does. It automates these things, guys. All right. It does lead nurturing, drip campaigns, automatic emails, automatic SMSs. It can schedule your calls. This is a quote that someone told me years ago, and it stuck with me my entire life. I think I was like 18 or 19 when this guy said it to me. I was doing work for him, and he said, Brad, nobody is organized. But if you can be, you'll have an advantage over everyone. I believe that. I've seen it true 1,000,000% in my life. It's just so true. Most people are not organized. So if you can be like, I can't tell you how many times I win a job for solar over the years when someone just says, oh, you're the only person who got back to me. You're the only person who responded to my call. You're the only person who did like, just because I was organized, not because I was better, not because I had a better product, just because I was better organized. All right. I first felt I had a real business when I launched my first CRM. Yeah. I wrote that in my blog. I published like a few months ago. I was in business for like a year or so, but when I had my first official CRM, that's when I really felt like I had a business. It just meant a big difference to me. Contact point. This is like, okay, real quick. How many times you contact a person? So the first day, call, text, email. First week, about a dozen plus, 12 contacts in the first week. Again, if you're doing this by yourself without a system, you have, let's say you're meeting multiple customers that week, that's a lot of work, right, guys? When the leads come in. So you got to have a system that's doing all this for you automatically. 6 calls, triple dials. When you call someone, hang up, call someone, hang up, call someone, hang up. That's a triple dial. That's a call center sort of trick. 3 to 4 texts in the first week, 3 to 4 emails in the first week. Again, you want to be, so all this is what we call the Solar Launch CRM. The CRM we use here, that my clients use, that I use, it's called the Solar Launch CRM. It was built specifically for solar. It's doing all these things. It'll get you about 2 to 3 deals more per month because it's actively engaging all these customers and keeping them active. You know, that could be the difference of bringing in 12 to 18 more K a month just because the CRM is doing all the stuff you're seeing here on its own. Okay. Yeah, it's working while you sleep, which is why anytime you get something working for you when you're not working, that's the best thing, right? All right, what else?
I know you're in a rush, Brad, but I just see so many businesses with what I do, and I can tell you that if you don't have automation in place in this day and age, like you're just leaving a ton of money on the table. There's no 2 ways about it.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to finish this up. My big mistake. This is honestly, I've been in business for about 3 or 4 years. I was doing really well. I had a call center. I had my sales team, and I was buying probably about maybe 5,000 a pop. I was buying purchase leads. That's again, I'm not hiding how I scale my business. I scale my business by buying purchase leads, and by doing online digital ads and stuff. But I did both. But purchase leads was the main way I was able to do it. But at one point, I was buying leads, and let's say I was buying 5,000 at a pop, and whatever I was paying, $50 or $75 a lead. I forget what it was. But I worked with different companies, so that's why there was a price range. And I bought a list, really great returns, good number of contact rates, we got some sales out of it. Same company, another list, same company, another list, but the quality kept on going down. Or not the quality, my returns kept on going down. So I thought the quality was getting worse. I called up the company. I said, "Hey guys," I talked to my the sales agent or my rep there. I said, "I think this isn't working out for me. I'm gonna cancel with you guys." He goes, "Brad, let me ask you a question. How are you processing your leads?" And I told him, "Well, I got the CRM, I'm doing the automatic emails, I'm doing the text, I'm doing everything right." Very cocky because I'm, successful businessman. I'm a cocky, arrogant bastard, right? I know I'm doing. This guy's not going to tell me, the guy who runs a call center, I'm not doing it right. Then he asked me a question. He said, "Brad, when the lead comes in, how quickly do you call them?" "Oh yeah, we try to call them as soon as they come in." "Okay, what does that mean?" Usually, probably within, half hour, 15, 20 minutes, try to call. Sometimes a lead comes in like the morning, but we don't get to it. We'll get to it that afternoon, but 100%, we always call every lead within 24 hours. He goes, "Okay, I see what's happening here, Brad. You need to call every single lead that comes in within 5 minutes." I realized when he said that I was leaving so much money and had been for years. And it was a game changer for me. There was an MIT study that basically said that this is a real study by MIT, and this is response times from creation by 5-minute initial dials. Look at where it is. Within the first 5 minutes, really, really good. 10 minutes, down 15. After 20 minutes, guys, look at your contact response rates. I was working in one company and I just found out, they're having some troubles because they did not implement this. I said to them, "God, how quickly are you calling your leads?" "We make sure," they were so proud, "we make sure to call every single new lead within the first day." According to this data, calling them within a day, is that good enough, guys? No. Guys, I want you to write speed to lead in the chat. Speed to lead. This is the most important thing if you want to get people on the phone. There's something that happens when you contact that lead. There's something with even under a minute. That's the best thing if you can do now. They call it the wow effect. MIT literally wrote in their paper, in the study, they in quotes called it the wow effect. Imagine you're on Facebook. You put the lead, you put your name, your contact information, and 38 seconds later, Joey calls you. "Hey, I saw you just put the lead in. My name's Joey with so-and-so solar company. I'm just following up." Wow, these guys are so amazing. They're so professional. They're so fast. It's the wow effect, guys. It makes a big, 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 huge, unbelievable difference. Speed to lead, guys, is so big. Now you're saying, "Damn, what am I supposed to be doing? Sitting there, my phone in front of me, like anxious, waiting for it to a chime, and then call that person instantaneously? What if I'm in a meeting? What if I'm grocery shopping?" Well, we have systems in place that when the lead comes in, it'll automatically call you. So you don't have to worry about that, right? So as soon as the lead comes in, 30 seconds later, it calls you and say, "You have a new incoming lead." And then you can pick it up. And then when you pick it up, it will then dial out that person. So it all happens automatically for you. So you don't have to figure this out, guys. Okay. What else? Training. I'll just say the last part. Most people, the reason they fail at this and have trouble is because they don't go trainings. This is Goggins. If you guys don't know him, it's kind of a crazy guy, but yeah. Insufficient, ineffective trainings, massive time suck. So what we're doing now, what I'm trying to train you guys is how to do this right, so you don't waste your time and waste your money. You want to have effective trainings. You can save time, increase your sales. They should have videos. So when you are learning how to do this, you want to have the videos that teach you how to do it, the document, and if you have growing your company and scaling your company, documentation, quizzes, practice, role play, all this makes a difference. If you aren't good on the phone or don't want to do the phone, you can hire an assistant, VAs. You can hire VAs from all over the world. The prices range, $5 to $10 an hour, depending on where they are. So, and I just want to talk about these are the main KPIs, which you really want to look at. What percent of people are you contacting? What percent of those people book appointments? What percent of those people meet with you? What percent of those deals close? What percent of those cancel, right? these are the things that my clients, when you work with me, we're going to keep track of all these things. It's called a KPI analysis. And the KPIs at the end of the day equal the money, right? Like we go back to the screen I showed you before, the spreadsheet, guys. The higher those rates are, the more money comes in. It's as simple as that. It's a numbers game. I used to hate talking about that stuff, but I've learned it. So these are some targets you can have. I don't expect you guys to memorize these, but yeah, bad KPIs, you know. Oh no, those are good. So don't pay attention to that. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to close this out. Guys, I got through it. How was that? Big value, guys?
X.
Big value? All right. Guys, scale of 1 to 10 of value.
Brad?
Yeah.
Brad, hello?
Yeah, Wayne.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay.
Barely.
No, I was take what you were saying. Doesn't it look like you're desperate to the customer? But I've seen that to be the biggest differentiator, and anyone I've ever sold leads to was this: how fast they got to the lead. And I've seen the opposite. They basically think you're on the ball. You stand out from everybody else, and they are just. You could hear it through the phone how happy they are that you called so quickly. They're like shocked because nobody does that. So it's actually the complete opposite. I've never got that reaction. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah. Because I think sometimes there's a big difference between being pushy and like, just real quick, like there's particularly people who are like what they call buyers, not analytical, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, I'll come back to it. But some people, but my point is you do them a disservice by not being quick. They're so busy. You think 10 minutes later they're thinking about that thing anymore? No, of course not. So you need to be the one who's on top of these things. And that's the other thing too. Like when I walk a customer through, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, I'm going to make everything for them. I'm going to make it turnkey and worry-free. So they can sit back and relax, and I'm going to take care of everything for them. Don't worry, Mr. Customer. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do it timely. I'm going to do it on budget. I'm going to do what I say. That's what they want from you. When you do those things, they feel, oh, okay, this is great. All right. So guys, I hope you've gotten a lot of value from the last 4 days. And one of the things that Wayne and I have put together is we wanted to give people who are at that point where they want to take that next step or they're looking to take that next step. We didn't want to leave you guys high and dry. We wanted to have a program that had the coaching, that had the tools, that has the systems, everything you guys would need, the leads, so you guys could be successful. But, you know, it's already almost 2. I just want to ask for your permission. Can I like share with you guys what we've put together to show you guys like what we do, what our product offering? I know some of you have already expressed that you know, looking for a mentor or looking for a coach. So thank you. So let me just sort of jump in to that. I really appreciate that. I'm going to open up this next set of slides and sort of show you what we've done. So let me share my screen again. So guys, let me ask you another question. Any of you guys sort of feel like this maybe a little bit with solar, kind of like you're drinking water from a fire hose? It's like, man, there's a lot here. Like Brad just went over conversion. Like that seems like a lot. You got to do all that. Yeah. But guess what, guys? You don't need to do it by yourself. That's why for me, like my biggest joy, my friend Josh, he owns his own solar company now. About 4 or 5 years ago, he was a client of mine. I put solar on his house. You know how it is sometimes you hit it off with people, right? Some people you like, some people they like you. We hit it off. A year or 2 later, I needed some help. My company was growing and scaling. Josh was a smart guy. Called him up, hey Josh, come work for me. He takes the plunge, comes, works for me, ends up becoming my operations manager. Smart kid. He picked it up very fast, very fast. Today he owns his own solar company. And I'll tell you, at the end of the day, I feel like a proud father. I do. He still calls me. Like, I think we had a call earlier this week and he was working on a project. He's like, how do I handle this? What do I do here? He just calls me. He's actually one of my clients. but he's still, more than anything, he's my friend, right? Because like my goal is to see his success, and he knows that because he's seen, my goals. I get, because my thing is I want to give to him, make him, reach his dreams. This is actually a picture of my niece right here. Sometimes you're like, man, this feels like a lot. Is this too much to bite? This whole solar thing, like, this is a new business for me. This is scary. It's a new endeavor. But guess what? All new things are going to be scary, guys. Right? But guess when they're less scary? When you have people there who are willing to be there for you. When you don't have to try to guess and make all the mistakes yourself. I'm here. My goal at the end of the day is to help you guys avoid that learning curve. Avoid doing what I did and literally for like 2 or 3 years buying purchase leads and having my contact rates be below like 40, 50%. All of a sudden, all I did was implement a system where my call center was instantly calling those people when the leads came in, and those contact rates went up to 60, 70%, like practically overnight, right? I'm here to show you guys, this is the mistake. This is how to avoid the mistake. This is exactly what to do to not make those mistakes. And that's how that turns into real dollars, right? Okay, let's jump into it. The Solar Blueprint. This is our main core product that we've been doing. So what does the Solar Blueprint Mastermind include, guys? It's going to include all this. It's interactive training. I'm going to get into that. It includes live coaching with me. And it's going to include in the live coaching. So let's talk about what that includes. Interactive training platform. Guys, I put this platform together over, I would say, 12+ years. So let me explain what that means. So I hired my first door knocker back in like 2011. I had to train him. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but guess what? Somehow we made sales. I don't even know, right? You throw enough spaghetti against the wall, some of it sticks, right? But eventually it's like, oh, this works. Then I had training. I had sales people. I hired people on the phones. And every time I hired someone, we would add new things to those trainings. So my sales trainings alone probably have gone through 100 iterations of being upgraded and to the point where it's like every single time they got better and better. This isn't something we threw together last week. This is literally hundreds of iterations of training. We put it online and we gave you mobile access to it. So you'll be able to get the training from anywhere. It's easy to follow learning path. So it literally says, step 1, do this. After you complete it, it takes you to step 2. So you don't have to figure it out. It has videos, searchable content. So you may say, I don't understand how that incentive works. You can type it in, look it up. Quizzes. So it's not just breezing through it. And if you hire people, you're going to know that they're completing it and actually doing the quizzes. Some of the quizzes, you have to get 100% just to do them. You can take them as many times as you want, but yeah. And it's got reports. I'll show you what those look like. Again, over 12 years in development, it's probably even old, it's probably like over 13 years now. Dozens of iterations tested in real world and proven to work. All these trainings we have tested and used for years. This is an actual app. This is a screenshot of the app I have. It's going to show you what the next training is, what % you have done of that training. And all these trainings, here's the main thing. This isn't a sales training, guys, for anything. Every single one of these trainings was specifically designed for solar. Now, you may say, well, Brad, you have only this very small niche. It's like, yeah, I do. And it's been solar for over 14 years. So whether it's vocabulary or emotional reasons to sell solar, or how to assess a home, how to disqualify a home and a lead for solar, all those trainings are part. These are actual screenshots from the training. Got a complete library of training, guys, lead funnels, lead cycles, verification call, which we went over today. Every single question is listed in here. How to answer, when, what order. We've tested the order of these over the years. What order to ask the questions in. Solar market overview, understanding what different markets are doing. Solar consultant training. So even this is, opening up a solar consultant training. It's got the training, how to do a discovery call. As a consultant, sorry, not a discovery call. Discovery during a solar consultation is different. Discovery is when you get into the actual meeting, the first 10 to 15 minutes, how you ask questions, how you interact with that person. It's building rapport, some people call it, right? How to do that properly. How to frame, build a pain. All that's built into this. When you're done, you get a little smiley face that says, congratulations, you've done a great job, which is always fun. And you can see on the left here, solar consultant walkthrough presentation. So the entire presentation, start to finish. We're going to go through that tomorrow. We don't have time to go through the whole thing, but we're going to go through it tomorrow. on how to do this. Electric bill analysis, solar basics, how to explain solar in a very simple way so customers understand it. All these things are built into it. These are just more examples of what's in the training system. I'm not going to go through all these virtual meetings, how to do that, how to do proper mirroring, energy storage, inverters, panels, customer walkthrough, state by state analysis. Hey, this is what's going on in your state. This is what the red lines are in that state. This is what people are selling for in that state. Da 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 da. All this is built in. So when you just go to a new state, like I don't even know what I should be selling for. Well, we have a state by state analysis. Obviously, these do get updated over time because things change, right? Videos. So this is a lead funnels, how to do lead funnels. This is a training in here. You watch the video, gives you everything you have. You can rewatch it and rewatch it as many times as you want, if you need to pick up more information. In addition to the videos, all the written. So this is a virtual meeting. It says you need great audio, lighting, clean background, dress perfect, all the things training you how to do a proper virtual meeting. So you know how to do it right in the video form and the written form as well. The PDF, so the same PDFs you're seeing me use as the trainings, they're linked. This is pretty cool. You can embed them and link them. So they're linked to the training platform and you can go through a PDF presentation. So this is the 5 Ps of Solar Dominoes. We're going to go through this one tomorrow. And this is really the basics way, how to sell. But all of these are linked right into the platform. Quizzes. So as a setter, that's, someone setting the calls. What is your primary goal is to... The answer is book a triple verified appointment. It's not to sell solar to the customer. Guys, all the quizzes are built right in here, right? And you get the training, then the quiz, right? So you're not having to guess. Also, that's lots of quizzes. Who should be at the appointment? All decision makers. That's part of the quiz, right? Training reports. So for yourself, if you hire someone, you can come in and say, oh, he's taking all these trainings. Oh, it doesn't look like he's taking the objection and rebuttals training. He hasn't completed that one, but he's done all these other trainings, right? So you can see what is complete in your training, what's not complete. When new trainings pop up, so maybe this is a new training on objections and rebuttals, then it's in there. Interactive training. Students learn faster and comprehend more with interactive training. All that means is if I just sent you guys videos, you comprehend a small percent. If I just sent you PDFs, you comprehend a small percent. But when you combine the videos with the written word, with the quizzes, plus working with me to go over that stuff, your comprehension levels and your understanding goes way up. That's why we put this all together in this way. Again, searchable video lessons, written documentation, knowledge database, quizzes, role playing, solar industry specific. Like, I'll be very honest, my opinion, which is super biased, this is the best solar training. And this is one thing I want to say. There are a lot of sales trainings out there. A lot. This isn't just a sales training. Sales training is a small component of all of this. Lead generation trainings, lead intake, conversion, which we just did. Sales trainings, project management training, right? How to handle the projects once they've been sold, what you should be aware of, right? Managers, if you hire a manager, what that manager should know, how they should train people. Solar industry, standard operating procedures, those things are in there. My clients pay me $25,000 for these trainings alone. Yeah, especially my bigger clients, they'll hire me and I'll set these trainings up for their organization and they'll pay me a big fat fee to do it. Okay, what else is part of the solar blueprint? Well, me. Yay. No, really, it's me. 14 years of solar experience, 10 plus years of owning my own solar sales and installation company, business planning and building, start growing and scaling your own business, mindset trainings, as you may have gotten already. I believe mindset, having the right attitude, is a huge part of success as an entrepreneur, as a business person. So we focus on it. I just think it's a must. Weekly live coaching call, that's part of it. Be a part of a community. So every single week you have a place. I don't understand how this thing's working. This thing's crushing me. You get on the call with other people, with me. You can ask your Q&A, kind of like we do in the VIPs, right? And you can, get your questions answered, level up together, share industry secrets. Hey, I'm doing this thing that no one else is doing. It's working really well. Well, you can share it in the group, in the community, because we're working together. Guys, what do you think works better? My boss asked me this. I worked in a restaurant when I was younger. He said, Brad, if a restaurant opened up across the street, would that be good or bad for a business? And I was like 19 at the time. I was like, well, wouldn't it be more competition? He goes, no, Brad. He goes, if restaurants popped up all over this area, guess what happens? More and more people come to this area to buy, it becomes the restaurant area, right? So it's good for our business the more restaurants come. I was like, oh, I don't believe in a scarcity mindset. I believe in abundance. So when we work together, we can have success together. That's my belief. If you don't believe that, well, we're not a good fit, but I do believe in abundance. Marketing and lead generation secrets, those are some of the best ones. Sales, recommendations and referrals, problem solving, weekly wins, all that stuff. Mindset, team building, how to run company meetings. This is someone asked me like a couple months ago, Brad, my company meetings aren't working really well. Can you walk me through exactly how to set up my company meetings, my sales meetings, of this and that? Yeah. So I showed him, he implemented it. How to attract and keep all-star talent. Yeah, that's another big one people try to figure out. How do I do this? Industry best practices. Again, SOPs, KPIs. Black Book of Solar. This is different than the published one. This is just you have access to my professional network. So you work with me. I'm going to say, hey, I built this network over 14 years. These are installers I trust in this area. They're not going to screw you. They're going to pay you. They're going to get back to you. They're good people. These are distributors who you can work with for solar. These are manufacturers that may be different than distributors. These are lead providers who are actually legitimate lead providers that you can work with, right? And the main thing, accountability. I know how it is at the end of the day, guys. Most of you guys at the end of the day say things to me like, well, at the end of the day, I just want someone who's going to like make sure I take the next step, make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. So accountability is a big thing. And I don't mind being that person. Just like, Joey, like, I don't know if you were here when we showed it this morning. I showed everyone the email you sent us this morning with the 800 plus people who responded. And like, that's accountability. And you know what happens when you're in a group and everyone sees Joey doing that? Everyone's like, damn, Joey did it. I need to do it now, right? That's how it works when you work as a group, right? So again, Solar Blueprint Mastermind, what does it include? Interactive trainings and the live coaching with me, all of that's included. Again, online mobile access, easy to follow learning path, the video, searchable content, quizzes, reports, the coaching, the accountability, all that's included. So this is 2 Thanksgivings ago, my niece, she literally pointed to me. She's like, Uncle Brad, can I have that piece of turkey? And I was like, the big giant leg thing. I looked at her, I looked at my brother, and he just was like, whatever. He just shrugged his shoulder, gave it to her. She's the happiest kid in the world. When I gave her that thing, she thought that was, she was like a little Viking eating that thing. But that's what it is. Are you guys ready to dive in? It's a big bite. We're ready to dive in, but because my goal is to give you guys everything you need in order to be able to do this successfully. So with the Solar Blueprint, we put a value on this for all this together at $14,997. That's the retail. Actually, originally we had this at $24,997 because that's what the sort of like the bigger clients, but we're trying to make it something that the average person could get for that. But for you guys, for the 5-day challenge, we want to give you a bonus with this. So what else? We have the Solar Accelerator Live 5-day bootcamp. So what's that? Today is a 5-day challenge. The 5-day accelerator is completely different. It's not like these hour-long meetings like we're doing now. It's completely different. What it is every single day, I'll give you assignments of trainings you're supposed to do. Then we'll hop on a call and we'll do question and answer. Hey, what questions did you have on how to implement that lead? Oh, did you have all the different things each day we're doing? I'll give you implementation tasks and we have the accountability. So it's not more of a training. You'll have access to the trainings and the assignments, and then we'll meet each day to make sure you're making progress every single day in that first week. Because my goal is to get you guys up and going as fast as possible. So it's kind of like to accelerate you guys in this process. So get you onboarded. So I think someone was asking me, who was it right in the beginning of the call? You were asking me, oh, do I need to am I working for someone else? It's like, no, well, you're not working for someone else. I will set you up with a partner, with an installer, where they're going to have the sales tools. They're going to do the install. They're going to do the permitting. You're just going to do the sales. So you're customers, but you don't have to do it yourself. But I'm going to set you up on that in the first week. EPC, financing, all that stuff. EPC is the engineering, procurement, and construction, as we went over yesterday. Lead generation, make sure you get your lead gen set up. Make sure you get your lead funnels, lead conversion set up. How to create your proposals. Make sure you're getting those done correctly, right? Closing your first deal and getting paid. All of that is part of this 5-day accelerator bootcamp. So this bonus, the accelerator bootcamp, has a $4,997 value, which brings the total value to $19,994 for for the Solar Blueprint Mastermind, which again includes all the interactive trainings and the ongoing coaching, and the 5-day accelerator bootcamp. What else? Yeah, I know. What else? What else? What else, Brad? I always feel weird doing this part, but it's just how we put things together, right? The Solar Launch CRM. So all those fancy automations, all those things we talked about, the automatic systems and stuff, this is how you get the speed to lead. This is how you do all of that. It's how to supercharge your sales engine. Boost sales, hundreds of automatic emails and SMSs. Automate your tasks. Save time. No more manual follow-up. Oh, I got to remember to send an email. It's literally automated in the system. I'll show you how to do that. Reach more customers. Communications hub, call recordings, emails, SMS, DMS, all that's built into the CRM. So you don't need to have a separate thing for calling and a separate thing for SMSing. Like, it's all built right in. This is a screenshot of a 13-minute and 44-second call. This is the SMS that the person sent to the customer asking to confirm the house. I'm just looking at it now. There's a lot of trees over that house. I just realized that. But hey, is this your house, the one covered in trees? Yeah. And they can respond, right inside the actual CRM system itself, right inside the Solar Launch CRM. Within this, you can see the customer. Here's the customer's name, their information, their address. You can see, looks like this customer had to reschedule their appointment. It sent them an automatic link to reschedule because they missed the appointment. All this is built in, the customer info, communications. On the left side, right side here, this history of everything that's happened with the customer. Call scripts. What is the average age of the roof? How long do you plan on being there? All these scripts we went over today, built right in. What high power appliances do you have, if any? Electric washer, electric stove, central air, all this built right in. So you don't need to figure this out. 3 people, so 1 to 10-year-old, right? That's how someone wrote this in. All this is built right in, so you don't need to figure this out. Triple verification questions already built in. Reconfirm appointments, set appointment expectations, get design. All this is built in, so you can just check a box as you're on the phone call, or your assistant or your call center, however you're doing it, is on the call with this person. It's all built in. You don't need to memorize these things. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to create a new system. It's already there. What else is in the CRM? Contacts and calling lists. You can make calling lists of all your appointments. You can click on these numbers, call, done. You can see the last time you spoke to the customer, right? You can see what stage each customer's in. Are they warm? Are they cold? Do they have appointments scheduled? All of that's built in, and you can check out these. I can see I have 8 leads with appointment schedules, all these things I want to see, right? I can look at the appointment tracking. I can see what appointments do I have coming up? When are they? I can look at my calendar. The calendar is integrated right into it. So again, you don't have to be going to a million different places, guys. It's all built in. It's all integrated into the system. Workflow automations built into the CRM. So you can see here, each state, it's got its own workflows and what things are. These are automatic emails. Day 1, they're going to get an email. Hi, contact first name. Welcome to this, a great company to work with, blah, blah, blah. Day 365, they get a different email. So this is built out for them to get emails and automatic messaging for years, guys. So once that lead, and every time they move to a different stage, they get different emails, different SMSs, right? Bonus number 2. Yeah,
I was going to say the year thing could throw people off because it threw me off when I first heard it. But a lot of times when you have a lead, if it doesn't convert right away, it's still a good lead. It's right. A lot of it is timing. So when you're saying a year, like, you're not badgering people for a year, you're providing value in there in some of the messages, but you're keeping them exposed to you. You're keeping the exposure there. So when the timing is right, they're like, oh, there we go. I'm going to go get solar from Brad.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's true. Like, there's something that's called a buying, not schedule. Man, my mind is missing things today, but like, you have to know where a buyer's at in their buying journey. So some people, when they say they're just looking, they're honestly just looking, right? So those people, you meet with them, you give them information, and it's the middle of the winter. They may legitimately not be ready till the middle of the summer. But how does that deal come to fruition in the middle of the summer? They get an email from you in the middle of the summer that says comparing solar to the Beverly Hillbillies striking oil. But except instead of drilling in the ground, you put panels on your roof and you're getting energy from the sun. And that's really what the email says that comes. And it says Beverly Hillbillies in the title. People open it. It really works because we tested these things. Yeah. So that's how that all works, right? So Solar Launch CRM is the second bonus. It's the software and automation system, decade in the making, built for solar, helps boost your sales. So we already have the core offering, the Solar Blueprint Mastermind, the $14,997 value, and we have a bonus, Solar Accelerator Live Bootcamp. So make sure you guys have you up and going in a week. I want to make sure you guys, I'm going to be holding your hand all week to make sure you get up and going. I want to make sure you have the systems, the Solar Launch CRM with the automation. That's a $997 value. If you're going to go ask someone to build this CRM for you, you will never in a million years get it for $997. Everything here. It's like if you ask a custom designer to come in and build workflow automations of hundreds of emails and test them to make sure they actually work and people open them and open rates and all this other stuff. Yeah, they're not going to get for that value. So all this together, total value, $29,991. All right, what else? I'm not done, guys. Real world time exclusive leads, wholesale lead system. Like I said, I partnered with Wayne about a year ago because I'm good at a lot of things. You guys see, I know solar, but I am not some sort of lead guru or lead genius. That's what Wayne is. So as part of this, when you become if you're going to go work with any number of the big lead providers out there that do digital ads, what are they going to tell you? I'll tell you exactly what they're going to say right now. $5,000 to join their program and a minimum of $3,000 to $5,000 a month for them to manage your ads for you, right? All of them are the same. Maybe you can say, well, I found one for $3,000 only, right? Okay, maybe 3,000 to 5,000, but most of them around $5,000 to join. But you're buying retail leads. You're paying the most money as possible when you're buying purchase leads or you're working with any of these other lead providers out there because they're either reselling them or worse, what they do is they set you up in a campaign and your campaign is the same as everyone else and they never look at it. They don't manage it. So your campaign, you're spending way more money on these digital campaigns than you should be. Wayne, for years, managed wholesale campaigns. And Wayne, can you just jump in? Because you explain this a little bit better, like what a wholesale campaign is and why that's more refined than a typical retail campaign, how that works?
Yeah, sure. I quickly went over this either yesterday or the day before. It's all a blur at this point. But essentially, you have levels of where leads are generated and resold and brokered out. Unfortunately, that's just the ecosystem of the lead generation world. And I actually just went to a show called Lead Generation World. I think I might be messing up the last part. That was down here in Fort Lauderdale, just 2 weeks ago. And you have layers. So you'll have the closest to the actual point of the lead being generated. When I say generated, that means like the lead was turned from someone that saw an ad or got interested just by seeing some messaging and turned into putting their information in a lead. Like, I'm interested in this. That's a lead, right? There's a bunch of definitions out there, but for the purpose of this, that's the one we're going to use. So the closer you can get to the actual generation of the lead, meaning the guy who most times at scale put the ad out on Facebook, put the ad out on YouTube, put the ad out on whatever platform it is, right? Even Nextdoor has an ad platform, for example, right? And you saw, and Joey saw yesterday how powerful it can be just to put a regular message out on Nextdoor app. But now if you can, get some more leverage by putting ads behind that's a really powerful. So when you go down to that level, you're generating leads directly for you. If exclusive leads, like nobody else has touched them. Again, not to mean somebody can't also go on Google and fill out 4 of the forms. That does happen once in a while, but it's pretty rare, to be honest. They usually see the ad in the platform, they get intrigued, they fill it out, and they wait for a phone call. Hopefully within 5 minutes, like we talked about. So from there, you have a bunch of different people who buy and sell those. Most people selling leads can't actually generate the lead. So they rely on brokers or multi-levels of brokers to get to the wholesale guy who's actually doing it. So that's my world. That's what I've done for over 20 years in many different industries. So that's as part of our program, we're providing that leads at cost to you guys. So it's really at cost or with very little margin for some of our software, some of the things we need to do. But I mean, it's honestly the cheapest and best quality lead you're going to be able to get, and you're going to have that working with us. You have that at your disposal, so you don't have to take those leads. As Brad showed yesterday, I believe it was, there's a progression. Where if somebody hasn't ever got on the phone call with a solar lead before, I wouldn't even recommend that, nor would Brad. But when you go, okay, I'm doing now 4 deals a month, 6 deals a month. I'm doing pretty good. I want more consistency and I want to scale. That's, you have us in your pocket to go, okay, I want some leads. How do we do this? Let's make this happen. Does that cover everything you want to say, Brad?
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, you always explain that better than I can. So thank you. Yeah. All right, thank you. So yeah, so it's good, and we have to make sure lead quality is very important in there. So it's your own in-house lead source, access to inbound leads at cost plus, like Wayne said. Obviously, we got to pay for the software and stuff, but it's basically an unlimited supply because it's all about ad spend, right? So the more we pump in ad spend in a territory, so if we talked about that KPI, I didn't go into it, but if you're making $300,000 in a month because you have 4 or 5 reps working for you and you're spending 30,000 on leads to make 300,000, well, 270,000 profit is really good, right? And people are like, but damn, you spent 30,000. Yeah, I know, but I made 270 in profit. So, the numbers work really well. That's how I said it was the only way I've seen companies really successfully scale is using something like this or purchasing leads, but purchasing leads is more expensive. We do, like Wayne said, whether it's Google, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Nextdoor, these things change, they come and go. Some are better than others at times, but we're always testing the market, and it's only for Solar Blueprint members. This is something that Wayne and I have had a lot of talks about. We only have this service for you guys. If you're a member of Solar Blueprint, you can get this.
And
Obviously,
again, let me just chime in. It could be unique to your, your geo. So if you say I want to concentrate on the market in Texas or Ohio, this is, we can deliver it at any level. So if you're only focused on one geographic area, that's fine. We'll set this up directly for you, custom.
Yeah. All right, guys. So what else you get? They're verified leads, add lead programmed 100% managed by us for you. So you don't have to do it. We manage it for you. Inbound leads that go right into the Solar Launch CRM. And then it automatically calls you within 30 seconds. Speed the lead, guys. That's the power of this. Okay, so the real bonus number 3 is the real-time leads at cost, top quality. So you have everything we talked about before, the Solar Blueprint Mastermind, valued at $14,997. Solar Accelerator, live bootcamp 5-day class, valued at $4,997. The Solar Launch software, CRM, and automations, valued at $997, plus the bonus of the real-time exclusive leads, having access to that system for $997. All this right now, we're at about 34, almost 35K of value. But we have one more bonus, guys, which is, this is something people kept on asking me and asking me and asking me and asking me for. And Wayne was like, don't do it. 100 days of coaching. So anybody that signs up as part of the 5-day challenge, as included, gets the 100 days of coaching. It's ongoing access to me. It's a KPI analysis. So why 100 days? Because in some territories, from the point of your first sale to the day the panels get on the roof and it gets turned on, takes about 90 days. So that's why we said 100 days. So you get all continual access to the Q&A calls, business planning, troubleshooting, as well as in the first week, the boot camp's included. In the first month, you'll be part of those weekly calls. And then afterwards, it's as required. So we're going to, and what I mean by that is mostly going to be the KPI analysis, which is what I meant to put here. The KPI analysis is making sure in those first few months, you're really hitting your KPIs, that if you're getting, 10 leads a week, I'm going to make sure you're handling those properly, processing it properly, getting the correct number of appointments. If you're not, we're going to figure it out. If you're not closing, we're going to figure it out, right? I remember one guy, and we're going to go into this tomorrow. He worked for me for years. He was closing deals, and all of a sudden he stopped closing deals. I said, what's going on, man? Why are your close rates down? He's like, I don't know. I went to an appointment with them. I said, oh, you're not building the pain. We'll talk about that tomorrow. You're not doing it properly anymore. You're skipping over that. You're too nonchalant. So he started building the pain, started doing it properly. His sales numbers went right back up. Sometimes you just need that second set of eyes to know what you're not doing correctly or what you're missing a little bit of forgetting. And that makes all the difference, I found.
Just to clarify, sorry, Brad, just to clarify, there's always a weekly call. So as long as you remember the community, I think Brad's really showing like how to accelerate, which is very important. But as long as you're part of a community, you're doing it alongside other people, and there's always a weekly call where you have that access. that goes on indefinitely as long as you're a member of the Solar Blueprint.
Correct. Yeah. I would say the main difference with this is, that ongoing KPI analysis and really the problem solving when it comes up. Yeah. Okay. So all this together, we got a value of 41,995. So let's just break this down. If you ended up doing this, you spent $41,000, 985. If this helped you close 4 deals a month at 6K and you made $288,000 this year, would it be worth it? Again, you're spending 40, let's say 2,000 to make 280. That's a profit of what, 240? Would it be worth it? Right? Okay, well let's be more conservative. Let's be way more conservative, guys. If you just help you close 1 deal a month, just one, and you at 6K each made $72,000 this year, just 1 deal a month at 42,000, would it be worth it? Right? Now you're starting to think, oh, I see the value, right? What if all this did was remove the pain of manual follow-up with a Solar Launch CRM? The pain, all that time, would it be worth it? What if all this did was give you access to a trusted lead source? I know people who have spent, myself included, been burned so many times. Would it be worth it? What if all it did was help you skip the line and avoid the learning curve? You just don't have to deal with the pain. I saw this recent thing where the guy was like, yeah, I was trying to do this thing in a business and I forget the whole story, but he met with this guy's lawyer, it was like Michael Jackson's lawyer or something. I'm trying to remember, was it was like, I forget who it was. It was a famous rapper. He met with his lawyers, paid $25,000 and ended up saving him like millions and millions and millions over the years at one $25,000 meeting he had with Michael Jackson's lawyer. He's like, what mistakes would you have, if you told Michael to do if you were like starting out that so he doesn't lose money or whatever? Yeah. $25,000 he spent, he says the best $25,000 of his life. Would it be worth it to avoid those mistakes? Would it be worth it if all it did was give you a mentor to lean on that has got your back? Right? So you have 2 choices. First choice, do nothing. Everything stays the same. And we know what that's like. Can be lone, can be painful, right? Second choice, change the lives of you and your family, right? Take that leap of faith, working together. So again, Solar Blueprint offering, the Solar Blueprint Mastermind with all those amazing trainings. Everything you'll need to know to be successful in this is in there, guys. And I add stuff all the time. It comes with the coaching included, 14,997 value. The bonuses, that first week, we're going to meet every single day for that first week and make sure you get up and running. Q&A every single day and make sure you get on tasks every single day, 4,997. Solar Launch CRM, all the automations, all the CRMs, automatic emails, your calling, all that's included. Your scripts are built into it, 997 value. Real-time exclusive wholesale leads. Again, you could go work with, there's 3 or 4 others that are doing exactly the same thing. And just alone to work with them, you're going to pay $5,000 just to work with them. 100 days of coaching, which is that ongoing KPI analysis and problem solving at a whole nother level. Even Wayne's saying this value is just too low, the 6,997. Because yeah, it is less than I would normally charge or something like that.
To be
But
clear, I said don't do it.
yeah, you did say don't
Too
do it.
much. That's too much of your personal time, but
Yeah.
but Brad doesn't listen to me.
No, I try to most of the time. Okay. Total value 4,985. And we have cut that out. We want to slash that. So would it be worth it today for 19,997? That would still be a great offer, right? If you could pull in $72,000 by just doing 1 a month, or let's say 250 a year, 250K a year, if you're just doing 3 or 4 a month. For 20,000, that would still be a great offer. But that was more than we wanted to do it for. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a quick testimonial.
Solar Coach Brad has taught me everything I know about solar.
I'm just gonna
Processes, workflows,
just jumping through this.
The audio is really low, Brad, just so you know. I don't know if there's a way to turn it up.
Oh, really? Hold on. You know what it is? Aaliyah's gonna give me crap. I didn't probably share my volume. She'd always say that to me. Yeah. I'm not gonna play all these. 'cause
And, you know, created all the back-end systems, CRM processes, workflows. You think of it, you name it, he's done it. He's basically the Thanos of solar. Solar Coach Brad has taught me everything
Hold on. How do I get to the next one?
I know about solar. I've been in the solar
All right, here we go.
There are people that are at the top of their profession, and I truly believe that Brad is at the top of the solar profession. When I first met him, I instantly knew that this guy knows what he's talking about. He runs such a great operation. When they first installed at my home, then I provided him a referral to my sister. He did my sister's house and the sister's neighbor's house, and it was the perfect turnkey operation. After working with Brad for so many years on our joint projects, and then I went off on my own and to do solar, I thought, what a perfect partnership to work with Brad again. Totally has his pulse on everything. I didn't even know about the reinstatement of the tax credit if it wasn't for Brad. He's a great partner to have in all parts of this business. I totally recommend working with Brad to start or scale any solar company, whether it's residential or commercial. There are people that are
All right, this is Chris. I'll just say this real
I
quick.
started working with Brad back in 2015, and I worked with him for a few years as I started my career in solar and advanced my career in solar. I always found him to be upfront, honest, helpful, insightful, easy to work with. He really saw my potential and helped me cultivate it myself and be the most successful I could be when it came to residential solar sales and some other functions as well within solar. So if you're considering launching a career in solar, advancing a career in solar, growing your skills, advancing your organization, helping solve complex problems related to the field, can't recommend him highly enough, and I'm happy to chat with anyone who's considering it.
Thank you, Chris.
I started working with Brad.
All right. Chris is actually, I mentioned him. He was the guy I tried to fire when he went to his job interview because he was so shy. He ended up being one of my best sales guys. But again, my wife and I still are in touch with him to this day. So I believe, building those long-term relationships. So again, if we did all this at $997 today, we think this would be a really good deal for everybody. But we decided that was maybe not accessible to everyone. So what do? We got our final price today for just $6,997. You get a one-time lifetime offer for that, or you can do 4 easy payments of $1997 to get into the program. So that is the offering, and that's what we have. Again, it comes with everything we talked about for that value, over $69,000 in value. And it's going to include the Solar Blueprint Mastermind, the 5-day accelerator bootcamp, the Solar Launch CRM, the real-time leads. Actually, we're not doing this deal maximizer. Scratch that. That's from the last one. Sorry, this is the right slide. There you go. Sorry, guys. This is the right slide. So we took off some of those things. So the real-time wholesale leads in the 100 days of coaching for the 41,985 value. These are the QR codes. If you're looking to move forward and you're ready to make that jump, this is that one-time payment, and this is to pay it over 4 months. We are going to keep this pricing open today for the next half hour for those who want to get in there. If this is something you want to do, you can just hold your phone to the screen and you can take a picture of that. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention this too. One of the things that some people have told us in previous times is some people have said, well, Brad, I really want to do this. Like, I am like absolutely 100% ready to go, but I don't have the money to do this. It's like, I want to work with you. I can see the value you're getting. I understand these systems. This is what I need. This is going to set me up for success. And then they say something like, well, I just don't have that cash. I just don't have even the ability to make that. So what we did is we've been working with PayPal. And what PayPal does is they now have a program where it's 6 months of financing for them. And let me explain exactly how that works. So you don't have to pay anything up front. You can finance this. And it's 6 months, no interest. if it's paid off within the first 6 months. I did look this up because I always try to give very clear terms, the same way I'll explain it to a customer if they're in solar. So what does that mean? After 6 months, if you don't pay it off, then the interest rate does kick in. And that interest would be retroactive to what you owed. So let's say you made the minimums, you still owed whatever after 6 months, you finance it and pay it over time, but interest would kick in. If you decide, well, so you may say, well, what do I need to do to qualify for the PayPal, pay later program is what they call it. Well, it's a soft credit check. So if you're not approved, it doesn't affect your credit, doesn't show up. If you are approved, you move forward with it. Yeah, then it shows up on your credit report, right? So just to be clear how that works. But they don't have any credit minimums, which is nice about PayPal. And the thing I like about that is, what is 6997? Essentially, it's about one deal. Let me ask you guys, like, in all honesty, if you did everything we said, you go through the trainings, you do the boot camp with me, you have the automations in place with the CRM. Is there anybody here who actually does not think that they could close one deal? Joey alone did one post last night and saw the power of just doing a next door post, right? Which he's going to keep on doing, right? Moving forward, with or without me, he's going to keep doing it because he already knows it works. So does anybody think that they would do this, not be able to get one deal in the next 6 months? Because if so, tell me, because I want to know that. But if you think you could close one deal in the next 6 months, this thing's basically paid for. If you think you could do one a month, right? What's one a month? One a month times 6 months is 36,000, right? That's just one a month, let alone if I think you're putting like what I would consider mediocre minimal work into this and doing 2 to 3 to 4 deals a month, then all of a sudden you're going to be pulling in, like we said, guys doing 20K, 30K a month. But again, you don't have to have the upfront or anything like that. With the pay later, you can literally go into it now, get your business running, and have multiple installs on the roof before this is even due. But that's why we have the different offers. Some people just say, I want to pay and be done. I know for me, I kind of always had that personality. I like to just pay things and be done with it. My older brother, he has never financed a car in his life. He leases every single car. And I asked him, Brett, his name's Craig. My name's Brett. I said, Craig, why do you lease every single car? He goes, I don't have to worry about it. If I lease it, I just make monthly payments and they take care of it at the end of the day. It's like to him, that's like a no-brainer because he doesn't have to worry about things. To me, I'm a little bit different. But some people, even in business, look at Amazon. You think Amazon was profitable the first several years? No, they ran out of a basement. They were millions and millions and millions. Amazon, when they started out, were like the laughing stock of like many people. They're like, look at these companies spending millions of dollars on quote unquote infrastructure. They never even made a profit. No one's saying that about Amazon today. No one's laughing at Amazon today because they invested in their future and they had a dream and they had a hope. No one laughs at them, right? But Jeff Bezos was a guy willing to go out there, and I think was he the guy who said he met with like 50 people before he could find like one person to invest in him? Like he just kept on asking, hey, give me money, give me money, give me money. Was it him who said that?
Yeah, that was him. At least 50. I thought it was even more, but he was just kept going
because he had a dream and he knew it would take money to do it. He knew it would take infrastructure to do it. He knew it would take something. So my goal, guys, is to work with you and provide that infrastructure and provide what you guys need to be able to move forward and be successful. That's why we've put all this together. I wanted to make sure you had the training, that you knew how to convert the leads, you know how to close the deals, that you know, and you have the accountability with that once you start to grow and scale, you can work with Wayne and I and have your own ad campaigns going and have the system so the leads can come in, you can get that phone call within 30 seconds and do a proper discovery call with that person that turns into an easy appointment, to a layup where they're happy, you're happy, everyone's happy, it's a win-win. That's why we put all this together, to be as comprehensive as possible. Not too much. I don't want to overwhelm anybody. Like, my goal was to give just enough that you have everything you need. It's kind of like what we talked about yesterday. Like, I don't want to open up the closet to the 3-year-old and say, pick 1,000 shirts, right? I don't want to do that. I want to lay out the right options so she can pick the outfit she wants and be happy, right? So that's what we're trying to do, is have all the right trainings in a sequential order that's easy to follow. You can get through in the first week. So you can have everything up and going. And literally, I'm telling you guys this, if you guys start, many of you guys will be meeting with customers by next week. And you'll be closing deals by next week. And once you look at that commission, now, depending on where you're at, depending on some states, I have some states where you're seeing commissions $10,000, $15,000 in some areas. Now, some areas may be more competitive. We talked about this, where those competitive areas are, and like, maybe like parts of Texas and the Houston area now, or Dallas, Fort Worth. So maybe it's only a $4,000 or $5,000 commission, but it's usually 5 or 6. But my goal is, by the end of next week, you guys have everything you need. You're already meeting with customers and starting to even close some deals. And it's definitely very possible. So does anybody have any questions on any of this? On any of these programs, what comes with it? You can write them in the chat. You can just talk out.
Yeah. Suki here. I don't think it's going to work in the UK, unfortunately. The commission rates are so low. That's the problem, I think, at the end of the day. I think the system's great. The software CRM, I don't know whether it's geared up only for the lead generation, so it's geared up for.
Sorry, Suki, you're coming in really low. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, it's hard to hear you.
Yeah, I think it's the headset. Let me change them.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying about the UK. I don't know if you can still hear me. The thing with the UK, and I've worked with people across the pond before, as you guys say, you don't have to sell in the UK. You could literally be anywhere in the world. You could be in Costa Rica on a beach, drink in your hand, feet on, toes in the sand, sun umbrella over your head, with your laptop in front of you, and you could be meeting with someone in Idaho, selling them solar. In California, selling, because it's all done virtually. You can join a Nextdoor group, just like Joey did. You can join a Nextdoor group in Boston, Massachusetts, if you want, in New York City, and start promoting yourself in Facebook groups and those things in those areas right now. You don't have to be in the US. You can be literally anywhere in the world, as long as you have 3 things to make this happen: a cell phone, internet access, and a laptop. That's all you need. And you can sell anywhere in the United States with those. And you can work with any of the installers, dealers in the United States, as long as you have the cell phone, the internet, and laptop. And actually, in truth, the way the system is with Zoom, you don't even need a cell phone, because you can make your calls through the internet. Actually, you can actually make your calls right through the Solar Launch CRM. You just click on the button. So technically, you wouldn't even need a cell phone. As long as you have the internet access in the computer, you could do everything. So I hope that answers that for you.
Yeah,
I
remember hearing that before, Suki, from somebody that was over in the UK. I mean, it's come up a couple of times that the commissions are a lot lower, I think, right? But I don't know why, with that amazing accent you guys have, I don't know why you couldn't just target the US.
That's so funny.
You make sales in Florida, I'll pay you.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. You got a better accent than my New York accent, that's for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And any other questions about the program, what comes with it, or anything like that? Well, we're gonna break out into the VIP so we can go over today's content as well. So I'm sure you guys have questions on that. And 'cause I know we covered a ton of content. So let's do that. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up. The links for signing up are here. If you want to do that PayPal Pay Later, let us know. We can send you the link for that. It's like a separate sort of thing we got to send you. And that's that PayPal Pay Later program that they have. I will say this, I would love to work with you guys on these things. Like at this point in my life, this is what I enjoy doing. Like I really enjoy working with guys and seeing them and helping them reach their success and being there, being a part of that journey with them. So I'd love to be there with you guys. So All right, so
I'll add one more thing. Sorry, just to make it clear. Yeah, the PayPal, it apparently can really break out the financing to a much lower monthly fee. So if anybody does have interest and is like, okay, this is just a little cost prohibitive at this second, even though it's well worth it. Like I said, like Brad said, just reach out to us. And I'm not extremely familiar with that program, but that can get set up, and I think that can make it a much lower, like really low monthly fee.
yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys one thing here on the PayPal. No minimum credit score required, soft credit check, 0 interest for 6 months.